when I was about 59 and on this quest to get in good shape, that's when I came across this book again. And I've taught it now to a lot of people, not only in the United States, but around the world, different places. And so I've got a lot of feedback from them on their experiences. And the thing about it is, I found that most people need a little coaching in order to get comfortable that they're doing it right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's like you can read it from a book and you can, but unless you actually do it and you have a coach there that says, yes, that's the right way, it's hard for a lot of people to grasp because it's a subtle thing.
Yeah.
I think it's probably easier for us people that have experience with transcending and letting go, because it involves a lot of letting go. It's instead of your mind controlling the action that you're doing, it's letting the mind listen to the body and sort of giving the body free rein when the body is ready, rather than forcing a certain level of performance on the body that it might not be prepared for.
Right.
Okay. So I have some people that my clients that are not able to learn it because they can't let go. they can't let go. It's just like they have to force everything, and they will not let go. On the other hand, I have other clients, and the experience, when they get it and start experiencing that sort of in the zone thing, they get really giddy. It's very interesting. That's the biggest reaction that they have, is they get giddy and they actually start giggling because they can't believe it. They say, like, I used to get winded and this, I could go on and on and on. I could just keep on going with this. So that's sort of like the background there.
Yeah, the two poles. Good.
Yeah. So let's work on teaching you and making sure that you have the experience, or at least know what to do to get the experience. Because sometimes it takes several weeks to acclimate the body, to get used to doing it before you really click in.
Right.
Okay. So we're going to start. We're going to do a little exercise, a couple exercises that that will be progressive in marrying the breath to activity. Okay. So the first thing we just want to do is start breathing really naturally. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, not trying to force anything at all. Now, we want to have an experience of this elongated exhale, which comes with the Ujjayi breathing. Are you familiar with Ujjayi breathing? Okay. So this is the big part of this technique. You can breathe through your nose regularly and use that as a regulator to activity, and you can get some benefit. But the big part of it is this taking the Ujjayi breath and learning how to do it easily. So Ujjayi breathing is just a slight constriction at the back of your throat when you're exhaling. So this technique is used with some cultures as a meditation technique, because it does calm the mind and calm the body, put it in the parasympathetic mode. But the genius of John Dillard was putting this together with vigorous activity. Mm-hmm. So it was like nobody ever thought, oh, it's like I get this great oceanic feeling, when I'm doing yoga. And yoga is so great because I can be, cosmic at the same time I'm doing something. But nobody thought, well, what if you take that same breathing technique that they use and and put it to, running a marathon or running a 100-yard dash or lifting weights. So all it is a slight constriction, as if you were saying ha,
Yeah,
or,
got that.
okay, so, and it will make a slight hissing sound when you're exhaling. So let's see if you can easily do that. So how does that feel?
Yeah, felt good. I got it immediately when I was reading. I said, ha, okay. Yeah, you can feel, you can hear the breath.
You can hear it. Yes. Okay. That's the most important aspect. So then we're going to take this, and before we do, let's just do a little test. Let's inhale naturally, and the whole thing is you don't want to force either the inhale or the exhale, because that will sort of put your body into more of a fight or flight mode.
Mm-hmm.
So you just inhale naturally, and then when you get done, put your hand up like this. And when you get done exhaling, then close your fingers to make a fist, okay? So inhale, and then start exhaling. Good, good, good. That's very good. What my students find is that the longer they do this, the longer that exhale becomes. Which to me, I don't have a scientific study to prove it, but it means to me that their VO2 max is increasing.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. And yeah, I kept it going until I couldn't feel any. I mean, the last bit was very, very faint.
Uh-huh.
It was still there.
Yes. And you don't have to get every last bit out for it to work.
Yeah, no, I was just playing to see how long I could.
Yes, good, good, good. So that, in a nutshell, is it. And now we're going to talk about how we put that into practice. So stand up. Okay. Now, what we want to do is sort of march in place while you're doing the breathing, okay?
Make the in-breath as long as I can, or just?
Inhale fully, but don't force it. That's the whole bottom line, is just breathe fully, but don't force it. Fully and comfortably. Keep on going. This time I want you to count how many steps you're doing when you inhale and how many steps you're doing during the exhale. 8 and 10. Very, very good. That's really good. Okay. Now, did that feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact, I'm getting that. I'm going to start laughing. I'm getting that kind of feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, I can feel something happening like in the back.
Yes. That's the onset of it. It's like you just get, to me, it's like getting more oxygen into your body, into your muscles, and into your mind. And your mind starts to actually wake up a little more. So I'm going to have you keep on doing that. We're going to do something a little more vigorous in a minute, but while you're doing that, I need to tell you a couple things about this technique. Now what John recommends and what Lawrence does and what I do, I follow what John's advice on warming up, is that this whole process is something that when you started out at the beginning of a workout, it's best if you started out during your warm up or even before you get to your warm-up because it's cumulative. It's like it's like it's a flywheel, like it starts to build and build and build. If you go into too vigorous of an activity, sort of cold, and try to do this, you won't get near the result. So what I do is I follow John's advice. I do the sun salutations as I'm coordinated with the inhales and exhales. And then I do an exercise or two exercises that aren't so demanding. Something that takes, the whole process maybe takes 10 minutes. And then I'm ready for the more vigorous exercises or more vigorous things that I'm going to be doing.
It's interesting, it transitioned from 8 and 10 to 10 and 12.
That's it, yes. That's it. Very, very good, yeah, that's it. It's becoming more efficient. It's a more efficient breathing technique. And that's why it keeps expanding like that. I had a lady, one of my clients was a singer in a community choir in Asheville, and she came back, she was like in her early 70s, I think. She came back and she said, after about 3 weeks, she said that she could hold a note longer than she's ever been able to hold a note in her entire life.
Yep. Transition to 11 and 13.
Okay. Okay, I think you're warmed up enough now to do some squats. But here's how we're going to do squats. Ordinarily, squats are done inhale and exhale coming back up. But what we're going to do is we're going to go inhale, and then we're just going to keep on doing reps while we're exhaling.
Okay.
So it's inhale. This is like, watch me a second. Inhale, and then I'm exhaling. And then, I mean, don't try to get every last bit of exhale out. Inhale when your body feels like you need to inhale again. Okay?
So I'm gonna inhale, inhale down.
Yep.
And then exhale up and down and up and down and up and down. Okay.
Yeah, until you need to take another breath. Yes, and what you'll find, now I don't know if, since you're just starting to learn it, and we only took just a couple minutes to really warm up, I don't know how fully you are into the benefits of the technique, but the more you do it, the more that it's like, and especially if you allow yourself that warm-up time at the beginning to ease into it, let your body ease into the whole thing, then it's like you can just keep on going and keep on going, and it's like instant recovery. It's like you just keep on going, and it's like you don't get that fatigue because you're breathing more efficiently, so the body is just working much better.
Wow, that is so cool. Yeah. So, wow. Okay.
So when I transition this to doing a resistance exercise, then, and the key to this that you'll notice as you get onto it is that you'll get done with an exercise and you'll notice I'm not winded. I can talk in the same way that I am talking right now. You know, it's like you don't have that oxygen deficit. And the concept of that warm-up period is more like building an oxygen reserve. So that's why you start during your warm-up or even before your workout, started breathing through the nose, so you sort of build up that whole reserve.
So doing like doing like a regular sun salute routine.
Yes, I'll send you one that my wife and my daughter made up that I use, It's just it's like 3 cycles. It takes about 5 minutes.
Okay, great.
And it's like, it talks, my wife talks you through about which place in the pose to inhale and when to exhale. But just briefly, the whole thing is coordinated with your breath. So you do one position, you like inhale, and then when you're ready to exhale, that's when you go to the other position. And you keep that position as long as you're doing the Ujjayi exhale. Then you go to the other position as you inhale. And you go to downward dog as you exhale. And then you go to the next position when you inhale like that.
Cool.
And so that sort of primes the pump. I guess that's the best.
Like three cycles of that.
Yeah, and one cycle is doing it with the right foot back, and then the other half of the cycle is doing the left foot back.
Yeah.
And so it's like three total cycles. And Dillard and Lawrence also recommend doing that at the end of a workout. And I have that. I got to send you the link of that interview that I did with Lawrence about 7 or 8 years ago. Do this at the end also, because what I find happening is that all those byproducts of metabolic products that you work up while you're working out, stretching and breathing like that at the end seems to flush everything out. And the reports that I've gotten is that people hardly ever get sore because they're doing that. So I think that's probably a reason. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you is that when you're doing a resistance exercise, for instance, a push-up, the normal way, of course, to do the push-up is you inhale and you exhale as you push, like this. And if you really think about it, that's almost like hyperventilating.
Oh, it is.
Why would we want to hyperventilate and have all of the stuff that goes with hyperventilating when we're trying to get stronger and be kind to our body in the process? So this way of doing it is you inhale and then the nasal exhale, the long one. And another inhale. So when we were doing the squats, it's good for a person to stop and like we did, and you inhale and then you do the activity. But when you're doing a regular exercise, you just throw it in anywhere. Whenever you need to inhale.
You inhale, then you do reps.
Yes.
Exhaling. So you're not hyperventilating. You're actually, rather than, you're just taking a normal in-breath, and then you're doing your reps on the out-breath, on the exhale. And when you do more oxygen, you bring more in and just keep going.
And what's happening is you're breathing deeper. And so that oxygen that you get in through your nose, which is enriched with nitric oxide, it goes down and it goes to the lower lobes of the lungs. And that nitric oxide helps what is it called?
The little villi in your lungs. Yeah,
the villi in the lungs helps the villi to expand and absorb that oxygen. So that's mechanically what's happening. On top of, you've set yourself into a parasympathetic mode. So it'd be one thing if we just got better performance and had more oxygen, but to have more oxygen and more mental focus and clarity at the same time that you have more energy in your whole system is what creates that in the zone experience. Yeah, and if you're fatigued because, you're breathing fast and stuff like that, you can't think as clearly. But if you're breathing like this and you're just sort of like the eye of the hurricane, then it's like your focus can be there. It can be total focus on what you're doing rather than distracted by a bunch of physical phenomena.
Cool. Wow. Joe, this is good. This is the beginning of something really fun. Oh my gracious. This is great. I can't wait for my next workout. In fact, I'm going to do a workout this afternoon. Well, actually I'll go out to the garden, maybe work out tomorrow. And I'll fire this thing up and tell you how it goes.
Yeah, please do. And a good way to get your system acclimated is to practice this breathing technique when you go for a walk.
Yeah.
Then it becomes more natural. It becomes like second nature.
So just bring the air in. And then on the exhale, go like, that's a little loud, but.
Yeah, just very gently.
Yeah.
Some people have called this, yeah, it's a very gentle restriction.
Yeah, you restrict it ever so slightly, and you can kind of hear the hiss in your ear, but you almost can't inside your ear, but you can't really hear it on the outside.
That's right. It's like somebody that would have to be standing within 6 inches of your head in order to hear it.
All right, buddy.
Okay.
To be continued.
Yes, definitely.
The garden calls. Right. Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.